Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Is everything all right? Does the stream work? Yes, no, maybe. Hope everyone's doing all right. All right. Okay, I'm hoping you guys auto share is disabled. Okay, whatever. Okay, so I hope you guys can hear me properly and that you're all doing all right. Hold on, let me just go into scenes. Okay, so now let me okay, hold on. Okay, we hear fine. Okay, thank you very much. Finally someone answered the question. All right, perfect. So as mentioned last week, um, we pretty much, like, I finished making a prototype for a tower defense game, which we can see here. I also added like the grid placements and stuff, right? There you go, like that. And I purposefully made the grid a bit larger so that we can see the space between the different towers, right? Oh, god damn it. There you go, like that. Okay, and now I'm probably gonna lose soon because again this isn't balanced properly. Anytime, yeah, there you go. And now typically here you'd want, like, I don't know, like a restart button or something, but like that's kind of easy to do, right? Like I assume you guys are able to kind of figure it out on your own and like make it like retry mechanic. But if you want, I could show you that, probably not with the tower defense prototype, but with the city builder prototype we could do something like that, right? So again, since this is a tower defense game, usually tower defense games pretty much only have one resource, which is like gold or whatever it is, right? Like credits, whatever. It's just one basic resource. And city builder games have multiple different resources, right? So I'm gonna open up Steam and I'm gonna go back to oh my god, what's it called? Kingdoms and Castles as a good example of the type of the type of city builder I'm gonna use as a template, just because it's a good example of like a game of the, how can I say, this design mentality of keep it simple and stupid, right? So let me just show it here. I'm booting up the game. Right. And I'm gonna show you specifically what kinds of mechanics I'm going to okay, standard mode, creative mode. Yeah, let's go creative mode, sure. Okay, large map, new map. Okay, there you go. Accept, sure, whatever. Okay, so here we have, this is obviously using a tile system and it's only flat, right? There's no diagonal spaces and there's also no elevation. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on, let me just nope. Okay, there you go. Music, sound effects, there you go. Okay, just so you guys can hear me. Okay, and so here you can select, using the UI, you can select which buildings you want, right? So basically with this prototype that I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be again taking inspiration from this, but making like a super basic version of a game that would look similar to this game right here, right? And so basically we're gonna have a UI, very basic UI for stuff like which buildings we wanna grab. And here, if you can see, So this one costs only lumber. This one costs lumber and stone. This one lumber, stone, and gold, etc., right? So on and so forth. And these ones are locked, basically, until I've placed my keep, let's say, right? So I don't know. Let's place it like that, right? And now it has unlocked these things, and here I can put some farm, I guess, out too far away from roads. Okay, so now again, there's a road mechanic, let's say, right? And here we can see all of our different resources. There are like 8 different types of resources, right? Here I can place like a road. I can place this like that, then this, etc., right? So this is, again, like, this is basically going to be like a slightly more advanced version of something like the tower defense game, right? And here you can see we have like different resources and stuff, right? What is it? A quarry, it requires 14 lumber, etc., right? How do we get lumber? Oh, I think, if I remember correctly, I haven't played this game in a while. Okay, yeah. You can like chop down trees like that, right? So on and so forth. There you go. So you kind of get the gist of the game, right? So I'm gonna do something similar, but I'm going to use the tower defense prototype as a template, right? To do certain things, right? So I remember Red Herring mentioned in the last stream, he mentioned that he'd be interested in seeing different mechanics with regards to multiple resources and how you can only place like a certain building placement constraints, right? So, you can only place certain structures on certain tiles, for instance, right? So basically, what I'm thinking of doing is when I press play here, we have our, what was it? Not pathing, terrain, or whatever. We have, is it spawner? No. Okay, grid. Okay, yeah, the grid builder. There you go. That's the one I was looking for. We have our grid builder, which is going to generate a specific grid based on our dimensions, basically, right? So I'm going to leverage this idea, this grid builder, to create a procedurally generated map, basically, right? And so today it's, again, I have no idea how long it's gonna take me, but the idea is for today, the very minimum I'm hoping we can achieve is get a grid builder working, but it's gonna be slightly more more advanced than the one we have in our tower defense prototype. And the idea is going to be that it's going to generate different tiles, right? It's going to generate different tiles that are going to how can I say that basically they're gonna, each tile is going to have its own placement constraints, right? So let's say a blue tile is going to represent water, so you're only gonna be able to build certain structures on blue tiles, right? Like you can't build houses in water, basically, right? So that's kind of the idea that I'm going with here, right? So first things first, let's create a new scene and call it city builder, right? So here we have tower defense, platformer, city builder, like that. Double click, perfect. Wait, let's just go back here. Directional light, game manager. Okay. So here, what we're going to do is create empty and say game manager. There you go. Put it at 000. Okay, like that. Make the directional light a child of this one. Make this one also a child. Save. So now we're gonna set up again. Like it's each of these prototype scenes, I'm doing it as if it's its own project, right? But since I've done other prototype scenes, I can reuse a lot of the assets from there, right? And so actually, while we're on the topic, let's just copy, paste this. See? So that's cool. So there you go, player management TD. Here we have the player manager TD, etc. So now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take inspiration from this. We're gonna go into scripts, tower defense. Here we're gonna create a new folder, call it city builder. Okay. Oh, city builder scripts. And now, okay, yeah, here we have this player manager. So now I'm literally just gonna copy paste a bunch of the code from the player manager TD script into my city builder script, basically, right? Or my city builder scripts, because I'm gonna have multiple ones of them, right? So here, let's create a mono behavior script and let's call it player camera manager. Okay. Oh, Jesus fuck. Okay, come on, assemble. I don't know why it always opens up Visual Studio when I create a script. There you go. Okay, perfect. So let me just take this and move it like that. I'm gonna move it to one of my other monitors. And I'm going to start setting things up, right? So again, like today's stream and probably tomorrow's stream are going to be a bit, I don't want to say boring, but I mean, that's kind of what it's going to be like, right? Like, they're going to be a bit less interesting, probably just because we're going to be setting things up, right? For some of our other mechanics, right? Because with this prototype here, what I would like to do ideally is show you guys cool stuff we can do with UI. Eventually also add UI animations, right? Or stuff similar to it. And then eventually maybe also show you guys how to create models in Blender and then import those models into Unity to show you guys how that works, and then maybe eventually also animating some of these models, right? Like, I don't know, if we have a certain structure that has an animation, like, I don't know, like a factory that has a certain animation, stuff like that, right? Let me just be right back for 5 seconds. Okay, there you go. All right, so first, make this script into a singleton just in case. So we're gonna say public static player camera manager player camera manager instance. Nope, not this. God damn it. There you go. This is what I meant to do. Okay. For now, variables for interacting with other scripts. There's nothing for now. Oops. Now here we're gonna do core variables. Game object player camera object. This is the object controlled by the player. Public game object, main camera object. There you go. Oh, okay. Well, this is probably not going to be used actually. There you go. Okay, let's copy paste. this right here. Okay. And now let's do this. Whoops, nope. There we go. So it's giving me an error because this function doesn't exist. This function right here doesn't exist right now in my script, but we're gonna do this like that. Ooh, okay, private late update. There we go. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Well, these ones, well, we might use them eventually, so I'm gonna keep them for now. Okay, yeah, key code F doesn't matter, but again, it's an example, so we're gonna keep it. Okay, we don't need space bar at all. Well, for now, we don't need it, in the sense that like we don't need this code because we're not jumping or anything, but we might use this for like to pause the game or whatever. You will use the same camera movement mechanic. Yeah, it's basically exactly. I'm just copying stuff from my tower defense with a bird's eye point of view. Yeah, kind of. But again, it's going to be diagonal, basically. Okay, so let me just... hold on. Okay. Mouse wheel down, we don't need this for now. Mouse wheel up, we don't need it. Okay, okay. Yeah, we also don't need this for now. Okay. And so then, let's go further down. Player horizontal movement. Boom. There you go. So what's this? Late update. There you go. So now, player camera object. Or actually, let's player camera movement object. There you go. There you go. Like that, like that, like that. There you go. Perfect. Let's just change these just in case. Okay. So now we have this. Now let's immediately implement it in the game itself. Okay, so this is 45. There you go. So player cam move object. There you go. This is 0, 0, like that. Let's just copy position, paste position. There you go. Okay, perfect. Okay, like that. So now if I were to add this right here, like that, movement speed 5, let's oh, movement speed 15, damn. Okay, so let's do this like that. Okay, let's save project, press play. Hopefully it's gonna work. Oh well, fuck, hold on. Even if it worked, we wouldn't know because there's nothing in my scene, right? Hold on. 15, 20, okay. Jesus. Yeah. There you go. It's working perfectly. Okay. So now, placement indicator. For now we're gonna keep it this way, right? This one we're gonna keep it as a TD used. Whoops. Used as reference. Okay, there you go. Okay, so save project. There you go. You can kill yourself. Thank you. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Or maybe I should. Who knows? The variable, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, yeah, we don't need this. Okay. Or actually, I can just disable it. There you go. There you go, there you go, there you go. Yeah, in Minecraft, exactly. Okay, I'm just gonna be right back, gonna refill my water bottle. I'll be back in 10 seconds. All right, so here's the next thing we're gonna do. Now that we have, so now that we have our camera controls, what I'm gonna do first is make a new grid builder script. So let's go, oops, here. Where's the grid builder? I'm just gonna once again zoom it out, put it on my second monitor, and I'm basically gonna recreate my grid builder script. Oh, actually, it's already called that. Okay, well, hold on. Fuck, I should have called it grid builder TD. Okay, hold on. So here we have, yeah, grid builder. Okay, hold on. Mono behavior grid builder TD. Now we're gonna have to wait for this to happen. Blah blah blah. Okay, double click. Grid builder TD. Oh fuck, hold on. There you go. That should be good. Okay, perfect. So let's just put this back up here. Let's go in-game, assets, scenes, tower defense. Where's my grid builder? Grid builder. Let's go here, scripts, tower defense. We select grid builder. There you go. 1.5, 1.5, 0. Number of tiles to spawn, 5. Number of tiles to spawn. Okay, so now let's just remove component. Okay, let's just press play. Is it gonna work? Okay. Ah, fuck's sake. Ah, because I don't have my grid tile. There you go. So now it should work fine. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's working fine. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now that we have this, let's go back into our city builder. Okay, scripts, tower defense. Yeah, so here we have the grid builder. So I'm once again, so this one I'm gonna erase actually. Let's delete grid builder. Okay, there you go, like that. There you go, copy paste. Okay, so now in our city builder, we're gonna create a new mono behavior. We're gonna call it grid builder city builder. God, that's, now we're gonna say CB. CB as for city builder. The same way that we're using TD for tower defense. I'm just gonna keep things. I was going to say you didn't assign an object instead. All right. Okay, are we good? Here, okay, city builder CB. Okay, there you go. All right, so now we're once again just gonna copy paste. Okay, so here, this is what we have, right? Grid tiles, objects list, blah, blah, blah. Number of tiles to spawn, etc., etc. So wait, is this used equals number of columns? Okay, yeah. Times number of rows. Right. Okay, so this should be 0 then. And these ones should be -1. There you go. Okay. Setup. Total number of tiles to spawn. Okay, so now obviously as I just showed, this already works, right? But what we want is, let me just bring this up. Okay, there you go. Images. Okay, here. Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Okay, so here, as we can see, right, we have different tiles, like yellow ones, light green ones, dark green ones. In the mechanics of the game, the darker the green, the better, like the more fertile the land, basically, right? Exactly, red herring. I want a more intelligent grid builder, right? And here we have the blue ones, right? Which represent water. And as we can see, the blue ones are a bit lower in height than the what are they called, the like the green ones or whatever, the land, basically, right? So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to I'm gonna have different colors, right? I'm just gonna use a different like color code or whatever, but because everything's placeholder, don't assume it's a game exactly like this one, right? Instead, it's more so gonna be a more general mechanic type. How can I say it? Basically, it's gonna be general mechanics, right? So maybe like a red tile is gonna represent a specific type of resource or something like that, right? And so the idea is that I'm going to generate, I'm going to modify this script to have just random, it's going to have a list. So instead of having grid tile prefab object, it's going to have a list of grid tile prefabs, and it's just going to randomly take from the list and spawn a tile. And then eventually what I'm going to do, oh, not this. There you go. Eventually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to come up with some sort of algorithm that's going to make certain tiles of the same type close to one another, right? So that it looks a bit more like this, right? Like as you can see, the yellow tiles, it's very rare that you get a random green tile out of nowhere, right? And as you can see, you never have a dark green one that isn't at least touching another dark green or a light green one, right? You never have a dark green one in the middle of nowhere. You maybe have light green ones in the middle of the yellow land, but like exactly, like you never have so stuff like that, right? Like these types of specific what are they called? Like these types of specific constraints, I'm gonna try to do something of that sort, right? I have no idea how long it's gonna take me, so bear with me, right? Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so as I said, first things first, we're gonna change this to public list, of type game object, grid tile prefabs list, prefab objects list or prefabs list, whatever, doesn't matter. New list. There you go. Okay. Index equals tile type, list element equals tile prefab. There you go. Okay. So now here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create an RNG. Let me just, where, let's see, I think it was in the tower manager that I had an RNG. No, it wasn't here. Let's go actually into the spawner manager. Is it using and yeah, okay, there you go, perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this one here. There you go. We're gonna go back to our grid builder here. And the only reason I'm doing this is it's like I do know how to do these things, but I'm a bit paranoid. So sometimes I'm afraid that I'm gonna make a stupid mistake. So that's why I always look back at my code. I've been doing this for 5 years, and even though I do know how to do things, I'm a bit paranoid. I'm the type of person basically who, like, whenever I'm at the gym and I lock my clothes in my locker, I test the lock every 10 seconds just to make sure that's working. Okay, hold on. My dad is calling me, so I'm just gonna have to be right back. Give me 1 minute. All right. He called me, just asked me the dumbest question in the world. Anyways, all right, back to business. But yeah, so as I was saying, okay, let's get this stuff working. Okay, so here we're gonna have a tile. So random tile ID. We're gonna give it. So this is a temporary variable. So then random tile ID equals random dot range between 0, and since it's an integer, the last one isn't it's not what do you call it, like it's not it's exclusive, like it doesn't get taken into consideration, right? Like here it says minimum inclusive, maximum inclusive, because it's a float. But if we click on this arrow here, it's gonna show you minimum inclusive for integer, maximum exclusive for integer, and we're gonna say prefabs list dot count. There you go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do here is okay, newly spawned tile, it's gonna be equal to this, and then tile ID. There you go. Right? Okay. So yeah, this has been changed. Yeah, and so I think that's all I need to put for now. Okay. And now let's create a bunch of tiles, cubes. Okay, hold on. What were the tile dimensions, if I remember correctly? Okay, hold on. First, actually, I'm gonna create this like that, and we're gonna call it grid builder CB. Or actually, pause. Game manager, I can just add this variable to my game manager, because I mean, might as well, right? There you go. And now here, we're gonna do, I don't know, like 5 different tiles, 5 different types of tiles, or actually 4. We're gonna keep it to the 4 colors. And if I remember correctly, they were 1.5 by 1.5. How many columns? Let's say 10 by 10, so it's gonna be 100. And then this, it's gonna be blue tile. Boom, boom, boom. red tile. Oops. Green tile. Oops. Green tile. Yellow tile. Okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah, 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, there you go. Okay, like that. Okay. So now, okay, let's go back to here. No, materials, blue, red, yellow, green. Okay. Oh, okay, I know why it's or do I know? Wait, what's the lighting like? Scenes, tower. Yes, save the scene. What's my lighting like? Okay, it's the exact same. Well, okay, now I'm curious. Control. Copy city builder. Like that. Okay. So let me just 3D plane. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. So because there isn't a plane right now in the scene, the lighting is a bit fucked up. Also, no, it's not because it's too close. It's because there's nothing else. So again, like when your scene is this empty, things look weird because I'm telling you, lighting is the worst fucking thing. I fucking hate lighting. But basically, the idea is that this. Look, if I disable it, they start to glow, right? Because this is the only thing that's getting lit. So this is why, right? So if I put this back on, right, we can see what it looks. And now if I change its material to this, see? Everything looks different. Like the skybox changes. You see what I mean? It's fucking weird, okay? But yeah, basically. So, let's put this up here like 100 by 100. There you go. Okay. Okay, and now these tiles here. I'm gonna put them all trigger, rigid body. Do not use gravity. There you go. Like that. Okay. And now let's just put this one like that. Or actually that. There you go. Okay, so we have all four of these here. Okay. Let's put this plane at -10. Okay, there you go. Okay. And now, oops. Let's add some more tiles. White tile and dark gray tile. There you go. So dark gray, white. There you go. There you go. Okay. So now let's do here like that. Assets, prefabs. Create a new folder. City builder. Prefabs. City builder prefabs. Let's do it like that. Let's move these up here. Okay. How on. Okay. Let's erase these. There you go. Okay, perfect. So now let's go back into here. And let's, now we have 6. So let's just do this. We're gonna start with white, dark gray, blue, red, green, and yellow. Okay. There you go. Okay. So now let's press play and see. I keep an eye on that dark green. Hey, there you go. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. Okay. So now let's actually remove this. Once again, the lighting is gonna be fucked. Or let's not remove it. Let's just disable it. There you go. Okay. And here, let's say 1000 by 1000. Okay. Oh boy. Oh fuck. Okay, that's a lot. Waiting for Unity's code to finish executing. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Because how many is that? 1000 times 1000. Yeah, it's only 1,000,000. Come on, baby. It's only 1,000,000. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think... Hopefully it's not gonna take more than like a minute or two. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... where's my task manager? Oh boy. This doesn't seem efficient. Hold on. Yeah. Right now it's like... It's going crazy. Yeah, my RAM is being annihilated. All right. Let's end task. There you go. Okay. Okay, let's open it back up. All right. Jesus, I've already been streaming for 45 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay. So do we have all of our prefabs? Okay, perfect. Let's do this like that. Okay. Yeah, we have this. Not okay. Let's do it 100 by 100, which should be what, like 10,000? Okay, there you go. Okay. Wow, look at this modern art painting. Amazing. Beautiful, right? And as you can see, in certain areas, because it's completely random, we do have certain pockets of like the same color together, right? All right. So let's go back. Okay. So let's say 100 by 100. Or actually, okay, hold on. Create empty grid builder. There you go. And now here, we're just gonna move this and give it to the grid builder. And then the grid builder, because this is 100 by 100, which is 10,000, I believe. 100 by 100, yeah, 10,000 exactly. What we're going to do is to put this at the center. We're gonna put this maybe 5,000. Like that. Okay, so if I zoom out, where is it? Okay. Let's hold on. So let's see now. No. Okay. Let's put this. Minus 100, minus 100. Okay. Okay, well, whatever. I'm gonna put it back to where it was. There you go. Okay. Okay, so now let's figure out a way to make it less totally random and a bit more interesting, right? So, how could I go about doing this? So we have different types of tiles, and we would ideally want each type of tile to have certain specifics. So, okay. So what I'm thinking is the blue tiles are going to represent water, okay? And so we're gonna put them all around the map. So the idea is that the map is like an island, basically, right? We're always only gonna be on an island, right? So let's start with that, right? Because it's gonna be more or less basic, right? So temp vars for procedural tiling, let's say. Okay. Now here, what we're gonna do is actually this here. Integer previous tile ID, like that. There you go. So used to pick a tile at random. Used to pick the same tile as the previous one. Go. Okay. So now here it's pick a tile at random if we're not we're not at the grid's boundaries. So number of tiles, blah blah blah, current column, current column 0. Okay, so hold on. So if current column is not equal 0, or current column is not equal number of columns minus 1, or current row isn't equal 0, or current row isn't equal number of rows minus 1. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay. Otherwise, fuck's sake. Okay, there you go. There you go. Otherwise, hold on. This is what we're gonna do. Integer tile to spawn ID equals 0, and then this equals random tile ID, right? Tile to spawn ID, tile to spawn ID equals, what was the blue one? I think it was 2. Let's go back. Yeah, the blue one is list element 2, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So all grid boundaries are made up of blue tiles. There you go. There you go. Like that. Okay, so let's see if it works now. Now in theory, all of our extremities on our grid should be blue, basically. Nope. Sweet fuck all. Okay, hold on. Okay, so nothing here has changed clearly, right? Okay, let me just change the player movement speed because we're going a bit slow. So is this just a random build seeder? So it's, yeah, basically that's kind of what I'm going for, basically. Okay, so this is a bit better. Okay, there you go. Okay. So if current column is not 0, or current column is not equal to the number of columns minus 1, or blah blah blah, etc. Okay, so current column. Okay. Current column is 0. Current row. Why is this not? So basically this thing never gets read, right? Else if basically let me just copy paste this. Let's see if just by copy pasting this it's actually gonna work, right? Is equal to 0, or is equal to this, or is equal to that. There you go. Okay. Hopefully it's gonna work. Nope, once again. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna be right back. Give me 5 seconds. Okay. In order to save time, you know what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna go to our favorite assistant. Okay. Here. Okay, so I'm currently prototyping stuff in Unity 6. I'm specifically messing around with a city builder prototype. Okay, here's so hold on. I'm using a grid like mechanic for my buildings placement. Okay, here's what my grid builder script looks like. There you go. There you go. Exactly. Is okay. This line. How can I say? There. So when it comes to building the grid, this line works. Or this code works, but this one doesn't. There you go. Okay, well, whatever. Okay. Let's go, boys. Is that an ambulance or the feds? It's because I live next to a what's it called? A firefighter station. So the number of times they just like go out and beep beep and like do all their crazy shit. Okay, the problem lies in your condition logic, specifically with the use of or. Yeah. In your if and else if statements. Here's a breakdown. Your current working condition, blah, blah, blah. This will always return true because at least one of these conditions will always be true. Even at the very edge. The others like blah, blah, blah. May still be true. Hence, okay, yeah. To properly... Yeah, but they're mutually exclusive, so this is also not gonna work, dummy. Why this works? Okay. Third tile is neither 0 nor, and current row is neither. Okay, well, let's see. No, actually, I think he's right. Holy shit, never mind. Yeah. Fuck, man. Sometimes I make such stupid mistakes. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So let me explain this. This should work. Let's test it out first. Before I put my foot in my mouth for the millionth time. Okay, there you go. Okay. So now hopefully it should be working. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so now it's working. Okay. There you go. Beautiful. Okay. There you go. So, so let me explain. Again, this is one of those like rookie mistakes, but again, as you've seen so far in all these streams, most of the quote-unquote mistakes I make are like small errors of inattention, right? So here's the thing. So basically, like I in my brain, in my mind, I confused both of these if statements with one another. So the idea is, whenever you're inside of the boundaries, right? So you're not about to spawn one of the tiles that's gonna be either like on any of the boundaries. So let me just do this, right? Like that. So I don't know, let's make it red, right? So anything that isn't touching the red square, so everything inside, right? Everything inside of here, right? Okay, like that. Everything inside of here, the moment it detects it, it's gonna put any type of tile, right? But the moment it's one of the tiles on the extremities, it's going to what do you call it? It's going to make it into a blue tile, right? But the problem is that we need to make sure that it's not on the first column, right? So it's not here on this column here, right? It's also not on the last column, right? So it's not here either, right? It's also not on the first row, which is this here, right? And it's also not on the last row, right? Here. However, if it is on any of these, so basically if this isn't false, if this isn't true, meaning that either this is true or this is true or this is true or this is true, which is literally this if statement here, right? Basically, it's gonna be blue, right? So this is why initially this was an else statement, because hold on, if I do this like that, if I remove it, like it's the code is still gonna work basically, right? Okay. Okay, perfect. There you go. So now you see the code still works basically, you know? There you go. Okay, so now that we have the water part working, let me let's make it more fun, right? So let's expand this to, hold on, do I have, okay, perfect. So you see here how the water, there's no water inland, right? But there's water all around it, right? So now I'm thinking, okay, let's expand this to make sure that to instead of having it be like just a line here, right? Instead, we can basically end up with something like this, right? Like a random structure, for instance, right? Let's see. So oops, let's move this like that. Okay, so here's where we're gonna use the previous tile thing. Okay, so if this is true, right? If this is true, which means we're not on one of the borders, right? But the previous tile, so previous tile was blue. So if previous tile equals 2, okay, and this is what we're gonna do, okay? So after spawning this, we're gonna do previous tile, oops, oh my god, previous tile equals spawn, so tile to spawn ID, okay? Else if previous tile isn't equal to 2, we're gonna do this like that. There you go. Okay. All right. So Okay, let me just be right back. It's getting a bit cold. As I said, I have to keep going back and turning my AC on and off because it's too fucking powerful. Okay. Okay, so if the previous tile was blue, what we're going to do is okay. Here's what I'm thinking, okay? Integer blue tile likelihood equals 0. Okay. So basically here it's tile spawn equals 2, and here we're gonna say blue tile likelihood equals 100. Okay. So let's say okay, so let's do blue tile likelihood used to determine how likely it is to spawn another blue tile. Okay, and then I think this one can be yeah, I think this one can be what's it called? This one can be a temporary variable. So here we're gonna say latest blue tile, not ID, but let's say latest blue tile is gonna be equal to this. So then latest blue tile equals random dot range 0 to likely blue tile likelihood, right? And then what we're gonna do is blue tile likelihood equals latest blue tile. Okay, hold on. So fuck. Okay, hold on, because it's one of those ideas that like makes sense in my brain, but I have difficulty putting it into words, right? So the idea that I'm thinking is here is it's a number, it's 100 basically, okay? So here we start with this number, that's 100. Then this number here, which is a temporary number, is going to be equal to anything between 0 and this basically, okay? So hold on, if previous this and blue tile likelihood is greater than 0, okay, then this is gonna happen, okay? Then if this is equal to 0, right, then it's not gonna happen, obviously, right? So every time another blue tile is spawned not on the boundaries, the likelihood of another one decreases basically, okay? And then otherwise, if previous tile isn't this, what we're gonna do is random tile ID equals -1, and then here we're gonna do while random tile actually, yeah, random tile equals 2. Okay, so random tile equals 2. Okay, random tile equals 2 while random tile equals 2. There you go. So that way this while loop prevents us from spawning a blue tile inland. Okay, so now let's see, with all of these added changes, let's see what it's gonna create. Okay. Well, shit. Alright, that is clearly not the plan. Random tile 2. Well, random tile equals 2. This. Okay. Yeah, water world. Hold on. Okay. So if previous tile was blue. Okay. If previous tile was blue, then latest blue tile, yeah, so it's gonna be between 0 and 99. Then it's gonna be, so that's it, it gives us 67. Then this is now gonna be 67 between this and that. Oh wait, oh fuck, hold on. I'm retarded. I think I understand why this occurred this way, because I technically haven't finished doing this. Okay, so the idea here, okay, is if we're not within the bounds, right, like, or rather if we're not at the boundaries, right, if we're not at any of these boundaries here, right, spawn any type of tile. Whereas if we are otherwise, right, if we are in the boundaries, do this, right? Tile to spawn, blah, blah, blah. And then tile to spawn, then we're gonna give it a previous tile, right? So what this means is, initially we're gonna spawn this line here, and then this here, and then the first one that spawns is for sure gonna be blue, basically, okay? Now what happens here is that if the previous tile was also blue, right, and the blue tile likelihood is above 0, then do this, but then I've never updated the tile to spawn, basically, right? So then tile to spawn equals 2, right? Otherwise, random tile equals 2, this, stuff like that, right? So now it's probably still not gonna work, right? But let's see. Like that. It's probably still not gonna work. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Equals to this, yeah. Oh, hold on. So if blue tile likelihood is above 0, then do this. There you go. Okay. And then previous, so tile to spawn equals random tile, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, so once again, let's go here. Let's copy paste this and go to our best friend right here and say, okay, here's what my code looks like now. Okay. Exactly. The problem that I'm having is that this code never happens. Or no, is that I now only ever have blue tiles spawning instead of any other tile. Hopefully it's gonna understand. And you're very close. The core issue now is in this block. Random tile, yeah. What's wrong? You're initializing random tile 2 before the while loop and then assigning title ID to random tile inside the loop. So if the first random number is not 2, what? Resulta is not set at all in many cases unless the if triggers first, which only allows blue tiles fix. Oh my god, okay, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this makes sense. My god. Alright. Yo. There you go. Hopefully now it should work. Alright, so now let's see. Well. Nope. Fucking fuck. Okay. Hold on. This doesn't necessarily mean that ChatGPT was wrong. It just means... while... It just means that there's probably more to this issue. Better control over... Right now you're doing this. This goes blue tile to shrink very fast and may have chaotic or biased behavior. Instead, consider this cleaner approach using a chance threshold. Yeah, but relax. We're not doing that yet. Okay, so... Hold on. Tile to spawn equals random tile. Okay, hold on. Random tile equals this. Yeah, so this should work. Clearly. But maybe this is causing a problem. Tile to spawn ID equals 2. Okay, so hold on. So this is what my code looks like now. I'm still only getting blue tiles. Oops. There you go. So here, but the issue likely comes from a logical where tile to spawn ID might not get assigned at all under certain. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Let's walk through your logic. Blah blah blah. No else fallback if blue. Well, because this is the... Hold on. Let me just check. If previous... Else, actually, let's just do this like that. Could this change it? Ah, there you go. Okay, so that's what it was. Hey, not bad, huh? Although, interesting. Okay. Although, as you can see, it only ever covers one side here. Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now... Okay, let's try to make it more like, because as you saw right now, it's basically like this, right? Like that, but let's try to make it more like that, for instance, okay? So right now, the way it works is that the likelihood disappears the further we go along inland, quote unquote, right? But the thing is, because it spawns my tiles like this, right? In this order, right? Etc., like that, right? it's always going to start from this side here and diminish until, and very quickly, right? The way I've designed it is that it diminishes very, very quickly, right? Now, instead of doing it this way, right, let's figure out a way to make it, how can, like, to make it, I'm having difficulty putting my thoughts into words again. So basically, right now we have a likelihood, and the further it moves towards the right, the less likely it is to spawn a certain a blue tile, right? But but the problem is that I want it, this is exactly, okay, so I want it to detect how close it is to any of the boundaries, right? So here we have it detect the boundaries, right? So, okay. So let's restructure this logic here, okay? So let's do this, okay? The closer we are to the grid boundaries, the greater the likelihood of spawning a blue tile. Okay, so blue tile likelihood is going to be equal to okay. So we have the current column, which is the basically current column is the current no, the current column is our current horizontal ID, and the current row is our, or fuck's sake, I'm retarded. Current column is our vertical ID, and current row is our horizontal one. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is we know our total number of rows, total number of columns. So we're gonna do some sort of average, right? We're gonna compare the current column. We're gonna divide it by the current this. Then we're gonna do the same thing with the row. Our current row divided by the total number of rows. Then we're gonna combine. We're gonna do one plus the other divided by 2, and that is going to be the likelihood. Yeah. Okay. So this is, oh, Clark Can is playing Total War Warhammer 3. All right. So blue tile likelihood equal. Okay. So hold on. So what we're gonna do is float row RNG. Okay. Row RNG equals current row, exactly perfect, divided by by number of rows, float column RNG F equals current column. There you go. Amazing. Okay. There you go. And then what we're going to do is blue likelihood equals Um, or actually, okay, yeah. So blue likelihood is going to be equal to row RNG plus column RNG divided by 2. Okay. But again, it's giving us an error because this is an integer. These are floats. So what we're going to do is mathf dot round to integer. See, so now it should be working. Okay. Now the problem with this, okay, is that it's going to always give us, so let's say, I don't know, like we have 100 rows, we have 100 columns. So let's say, hold on, let's say, calculator, we have 0.67, so we have, we're on row 67 divided by 100 equals 0.67 plus 0.58 for the columns, right? This divided by 2 equals this. Rounded to the nearest integer, it's going to be equal 1, right? So basically this is always going to give us either 0 or 1, right? Now basically what I could do here is, let's say remove this, okay, like that, okay. And here what I can do is simply say if blue likelihood equals 0, we're gonna say this basically. We can do this, else if, fuck's sake. Okay, hold on. So actually, come to think of it, right? All of this can technically be removed now because we don't really care if the previous one was blue. What we care about is whether or not, yeah, okay, hold on. Okay, so let me just, hello there. We saw that you're playing Total Warhammer Clan. I mean, Clark can, Jesus. I can't read. Okay, hold on. So what we're gonna do here, okay, is all of this can kind of be it's gonna get disabled, but for now, okay, what we're gonna do is like that. We're gonna take this like that here, okay, and then here we're gonna do if blue likelihood equals 0, else if blue likelihood equals 1, okay. So if blue likelihood is 0, let's say spawn a blue tile. If it's equal 1, spawn any non-blue tile. There you go. So now we're just gonna take this like that, bada bing bada boom, and now here we're gonna remove all of this basically. Okay, so now let's see. So basically the idea here is the further away, or maybe not, hold on. So the idea here is we're taking the average of where we are right now, right? So maybe we're here and we're here. We're taking the average, And depending on the average, it's going to give us something between 0 and 1, right? And the closer we are to this here, the more likely it is to be blue. And the closer we are to this here, the less likely it is. Or no, it's the opposite rather. The closer we are to this here, the likelier it is to be blue. The closer we are to this, the likelier it is to be non-blue. That's how it should work right now, based on this logic. Okay. All right. Okay. Or fucking not. All right. Fuck me, I guess. Hold on. Where's the error? This. Else if. Because it's round to int. Current column. Because it's divided by 2. Actually, is it once again this? I fucking swear to God. Ah la la. Nope. Okay, exactly. Okay, so it's still not this. Okay. Okay. So to begin with, I wasn't planning on doing it this way, right? But then I thought up about it and I was like, oh, maybe this could work. Clearly it's not working, right? So the general idea that I had, right, was instead of having it like that, what I would do is simply as follows, okay? So we have blue tile likelihood, okay, equals mathf dot round to int, okay, equals 100 times, so 100 times RNGF, so row plus column RNGF, okay, divided by 2. There you go, okay? And then here, what we're gonna do is, what we're gonna do here is, let's copy this, hold on, blue likelihood, so latest blue tile equals between 0 and 100. Oops, okay. Now if latest blue tile is lower than blue tile likelihood, we're gonna do this. Otherwise, we're gonna do this, is what I'm thinking. Fuck's sake. Oh my God. There you go. Okay. Something tells me this is also not gonna work, but let me just make sure. Okay, so basically, I don't know. Again, let's whip out the calculator. Okay. Let's say we are on row 74. Yeah, so 74 divided by 100, because we have 100 rows, 0.74, plus, let's say 0.32 equals this. Then this gets multiplied by 100, right? So it's multiplied by by 100 equals 106 divided by 2, 53, okay? And then we run an RNG between 0 and 100, right? Simple. And then we check, is this greater or lower than this, basically. Any buildings you've managed to implement so far, or what stage are you at? By the way, what is everyone's favorite city builder and why is it Anno 1800? Yeah, basically I've been working on creating a grid that is like procedurally generated, but you only showed up when it's all blue, so it looks all blue, but it's actually a hodgepodge of a bunch of stuff. Okay, so let's look at it right now. Okay. Okay, there you go. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now we're back at it only ever being like this. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Not enough blood has been shed yet. Exactly. Okay, hold on. So now it's like now it's only ever. So basically this never happens. This thing here, the latest blue tile is never lower than this. It's always greater, which means that this blue tile likelihood, actually, okay, hold on. Let's do this. There you go. Okay. Blue tile likelihood. Let's press play. 100. Well, no, that does make sense. Okay, hold on. Between times 100. Okay, hold on. So let's copy paste this and put it in update. Oh, fuck. Jesus. Okay, there you go. Okay. So now every frame, this thing's gonna change basically. Bitch. Ah, fuck's sake. Ah, well, motherfucker. Okay. Okay, hold on. This is so fucking frustrating. All of this just to debug some bullshit. Okay. No. That's not the proper way of debugging it. Actually. So okay. I know how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, fuck all of this. Okay, there you go. So current column equals random.range between 0 and number of columns. There you go. then current row equals random dot range 0 and number of rows. Okay. All right. Like that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Basically, if it always gives us 100, that's where the problem is. Okay, blue tile likelihood equals 0. Okay, so it's always giving us 0 actually. It's always giving us 0. Okay. Current column 0, number of columns. Current row divided by current column. Row RNG. Okay. So basically, yeah. So exactly. So this is why this never happens, because this can never be smaller than 0, basically. And if here I were to put lower or equal to, then my entire grid would turn blue, basically. Oh, or not. Oh. Okay, well now we see little bits of blue here and there. What? Bruh. Okay. But they're completely random. Okay, what the fuck? Now I'm even more confused. Okay, hold on. Okay. Jesus. Okay, so okay. Well, actually, where is, okay, there it is. Okay, here. All right, here's what my code looks like now. Okay, we're gonna remove all of this garbage here, all of this as well, because it's irrelevant. Okay. Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, here I can just remove this. Okay. What's happening right now is that this code only occurs sporadically, whereas I want it to spawn more, and I want the likelihood of spawning a blue tile to increase the closer we get to this if statement being untrue. Furthermore, if I change my code to this, okay, so let's just copy paste. No blue tiles spawn outside of the boundaries. Does this explanation make sense? And if so, could you help me figure out what the problem is? There you go. So you see, like, most of these tutorials are basically like debugging. Insertion makes perfect sense, and I can see exactly what's going on. You're trying to have more blue tiles appear the closer you are to the edges of the grid, but not on the edges, which are always blue. You're on the right track, but there are two key issues. Problem number one, integer division bug. Well, that's clearly, yeah, that's clearly what's happening. Float. Okay, is using integer division, which causes values like 3 out of 10 to return 0. Okay, since current row and number of rows are both integers, this evaluates to 0 or 1, and that, fix it, but, okay. So let's check this. Okay. So this, from what I understand, basically temporarily, like for the sake of what's it called? For the sake of the equation, it transforms them, I guess, into floats. If I delete this, Okay. Well, it's set to do them both, so this will now correctly give you a percentage in the 0 to 1.0 range. Okay, problem number 2. Oops. Blue tile likelihood isn't aggressive enough. Even with a correct calculation, when you're only halfway to the edge, you'll get 50%. That might not feel strong enough visually. Well, yeah, but that's for later. Okay. Okay, well, okay, relax. First let's get this fucking working, okay? And then we'll see about making it aggressive enough or whatever. Can never but yeah, never played an actual city builder game, but the closest is Dark Cloud 1 and 2. Not close to the shore. You said debugging is the most time-consuming part. Well, yeah. That's exactly it. Okay, hold on, let's see. Okay, so see, it's still okay. Okay, so clearly here. Okay, yeah, and it makes sense. Okay, so remember what I said? Basically, the closer we are to this, the more blue it's gonna be, right? And the closer we are to this, the less blue it's gonna be, right? Okay, so, so instead of doing it greater or equal to, right, what we're gonna do is, okay, here's what we're gonna do. If blue likelihood is above 50 and what's it called? And latest is above likelihood, then we're gonna do this. Else if likelihood is below 50 and blue tile, latest blue tile is below blue likelihood, then we're also gonna do this. Otherwise, do a random tile. And now here, because I haven't added 50 to any of these, it's either below or above 50. Then at the very center, there shouldn't be any blue tiles, but I'm gonna do it like that, right? is greater or equal, oh, greater or equal to 50. There you go. Okay, so let's see now how it's gonna look. So now it should only be like around the corners, basically. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you see, so now it's the opposite. Now the closer we are to the center, the more blue there is, and the further away we are, the less there's from the corners, right? So this corner here, there's as little blue as possible. This corner here as well, whereas this one there is blue, and this, okay, perfect. So now basically what this means is all we need to do is the opposite. There you go. So we just reverse them. Okay, let's see. Unless by reversing them, it's just gonna do the same thing, but in the opposite corners. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Okay. Yeah. Jesus. Okay, interesting. Let's see it again. Yeah, it's basically doing the opposite. So the further to this, towards this corner we are. Okay. Okay, so hold on. Also, let's just copy and paste this right here. And now let me just press play just to see how it updates the blue likelihood. It's probably gonna be like, yeah, Jesus Christ. But as we can see, it's constantly changing numbers. So it's legit, basically. It's legit. Okay, it's always any number between 0 and 100, basically. Not including 100, obviously. Okay. Okay. So... okay. So basically the idea here is... I don't think this here is the proper logic, because no matter which way, whether it's greater or lower than 50 and greater or lower than or greater, smaller, equal, whatever, right? I don't think, because basically this logic forces it, it's based off of the corners, basically, right? So I think what we need to do is take inspiration from the original idea, right? That like the closer we get to the what are they called? The closer we get to the boundaries of the grid, to the edges of the grid, right? The higher the likelihood of a blue tile appearing, right? The greater the likelihood of spawning a blue tile. Yeah. Okay. So, blue likelihood. Yeah, so blue likelihood equals any number between... So hold on. Let's say we have 0.66 plus 0.11 times 100 divided by 2 is 38. So this is below 50. Okay, so that means that we are somewhere around here, basically. And so if we wanted, greater, then that means that there's going to be more water this side. If we want it lower, it means this, right? But then because it's based on these corners, then it's going to do the opposite, right? The moment we we get any number above 50, it's going to be based off of this, right? Okay. Okay. So that's why either this corner and this one are more blue, or this one and this one are more blue. Okay. So let me, I have difficulty structuring my thoughts right now because I'm having like a million different things going through my mind, right? So I'm gonna use ChatGPT to help me with this, right? So here's what the code looks like right now. Basically, what ends up happening is that the closer we are to either the bottom left or top right corners, the more blue tiles there are. Okay. However, what I want is for fewer and fewer blue tiles to spawn the further away from the grid's edges we are. All right. Okay, you're almost there, and you're absolutely right in your observation. Your current formula causes more blue tiles to appear near bottom left and top right corners, but what you actually want is more blue tiles near any edge and fewer in the center. Okay, root cause. The problem is in this logic here. Okay, this gives you a diagonal gradient, right? Which is why you're seeing a diagonal bias instead of an edge-based fall. What you actually want, you want the distance from edge-based blue chance, where tiles on the edge have 100% blue chance, tiles toward the center have 0%. Okay, right? That means the closer a tile is to any edge, the more likely it's blue, right? Okay, correct version. Distance left, distance right. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, there you go. So ultimately, that's kind of what I was trying to do, but I went about it the wrong way. Okay. Then get the closest distance to any edge. Minimum distance from edge. Math.min. Distance left, distance right. Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess it's gonna find the lowest number between this number, right? This number, right? Map this to a likelihood minus the further from edge, the lower the chance. For example, each tile inward reduces chance by 15%. Ooh, okay. Latest blue tile. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's try this out based on the way it's telling us. The closer we are to the grid edges, the greater the likelihood. Okay, so old code. We're gonna put it like that. Okay, so well, actually, let's just copy and paste. So calculate the distance to each edge, then get the closest distance to any edge. Okay, map this to a likelihood for the chance. Okay, now roll the dice. Okay, and then here we're gonna do if latest blue tile is lower than likelihood, then we're gonna do spawn ID equals 2, else. Okay, God, you're so annoying. There you go. Then we're gonna do this. go. Actually, let's do it like that. There you go. Okay. So now hopefully it should work, but again, basically this is clamped with a 15%, right? But if I change this number here, it's gonna change the whole thing basically. So actually, before we do that, let's do this. Okay, let's do public int blue tile percentage equals -1. Okay, let's put this, yeah, here, like that, like that, like that, like that. Oh. Okay, there we go. So blue tile likelihood, let's put it at 15, like they said. And then here, oops, percentage, blue tile percentage. There you go. All right, so let's see. Hopefully this will work. Ooh. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, once again, it's all blue. So let's see. Else. What's blue tile? This. 0 to 100. Huh. Okay, so let's do this. Like that. Else, yeah. Okay, interesting. So, yeah, let's copy and paste all of this. Okay. All right, so I followed the code you showed me, and this is what my code looks like now. However, now all the tiles become blue. What do you have to say for your defense? You're not extremely close. If all the tiles are becoming blue, the issue is most likely due to how you're calculating and applying blue tile likelihood, especially if blue tile percentage is too small, or if your grid is small enough that minimum distance from edge never reduces the chance enough, is defined correctly. If it's set to 0 or even something too small like 1, then blue tile chance is always 100%. Fix, make sure you're assigning blue tile a meaningful value, like, okay, so distance 0 equals 100% blue tile. Distance 1, 80%. Oh, okay, interesting. If you don't clamp or scale that fall off, the tiles say blue all the way. If you don't clamp, okay. Grid dimensions might be small. No, they're not small. Random value range. So we'll never hit 100 because unities. Yeah. Okay, so I guess 101 then I should put it. So returns 0 to 99, meaning if blue likelihood is 100. Okay, interesting. Use a gradient. Wait, okay, relax. One thing after another. So let's put this at 101. Okay. And now blue tile percentage. What was it saying? Okay. So let's say 20. Let's just change it to 20, see if it's gonna change anything. Oh. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's change. Oh, wait. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm so stupid. Oh my god. It's because I changed likelihood and not percentage. Bruh. Percentage was -1. Oh my god. Well, there you go. All right. So it's working. Again, a human mistake. Okay, let's put it at 5. Let's see if we put it at 5. Oh shit, let's go. Okay. I mean, it still looks like a fucking mess, right? Like it looks nowhere near as good as this, right? But it's a good start, right? Like that. Interesting. Okay. And so now here is where, okay, hold on. Basically, here is where I'm gonna bring in the previous tile ID thing, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fuck around with the blue tile percentage, okay? Also, let me just redo blue tile likelihood to be, wait, no, actually, blue tile likelihood equals this, okay? So actually, yeah, used to determine how likely, there you go. Set up manually and modified by previous tile ID. Okay. Okay, so now hold on. No, not this, bro. Fuck you. Just give me the meme. There you go.
This is where the fun begins.
There you go. All right. Fuck all of this garbage. There you go. All right, let's remove this because we don't need this anymore. Okay. All right, so okay, so here we have the blue percentage, which again, the lower it is, yeah. So the lower it is, the more blue there is. Okay. So now here is before calculating blue tile likelihood, modify the percentage based on previous, fuck's sake. Shit. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's return to this. And what was it that I did initially? What was the original one? Hold on, where was it? There it is. Int. Okay. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Okay. So before calculating blue tile likelihood, modify the percentage based on the on previous tile ID. All right. Okay. So I really need to pee, so I'm gonna be right back. Give me a minute, and when I'm back, we're gonna keep like I'm gonna add this last part, which hopefully is gonna make it a bit more seamless in terms of like how the water works. Okay, be right back. All right. Yep, it's all subliminal messaging. So basically you can do the same exact kind of logic to do the yellow, green, etc. tiles to be a bit more natural looking after a while. Yeah, exactly. That would be the idea, right? So before calculating, yeah, modified. Okay, so if previous tile ID equals 2, what we're gonna do is, so hold on, so let's rename this. No, hold on. Okay, so no, oh my god. Okay, let's just erase this. Okay, so blue tile chance, let's call it like that. Okay, well, fuck you. Blue tile, so latest blue tile. Okay, so what we're gonna do is the same logic that I applied, like the very initial logic, right? Do you remember? The one that caused us to have like only on one side, to have water only on one side, right? Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna create this one here like that, right? And then what we're gonna say is, so if the previous tile ID is blue, right? So previous tile is blue, right? Equals, okay, hold on. So blue tile percentage, public int, blue tile, so current blue tile percentage, 0, base blue tile percentage, updates automatically based on previous tile ID. Okay. Okay. So now it's actually starting I'm starting to properly visualize. Okay, this thing, we don't need it. What we're gonna do here is current blue tile percentage equals percentage base blue tile percentage minus 1, or plus 1 actually, plus 1. There you go. Okay, else if, oh my god, why are you this way? Else if previous tile ID is not equal to 2, okay, there you go. What we're gonna do is blue tile percentage, current blue tile percentage equals base okay, hold on. Actually, okay, here is where we're gonna set up the blue tile. So current percentage equals base percentage, okay? And then here, what we're gonna do is simply this. Minus equals 1, plus equals 1, there you go. And then let's change it like this. Okay, let's change it like this. Okay, now let's see. Okay, let's put this at 0. Let's put this at 15, let's say. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Huh. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So clearly this is too much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we're not gonna do it like this because this is too much. Instead, what we're going to do is current blue tile percentage equals there you go. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. It works. Fuck you, red herring. Yeah. It works. It works amazing. Just kidding. I love you. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so what we're gonna do is current percentage equals base percentage plus minimum distance from edge, let's say, right? Okay, let's do it like that, and then here it's gonna be minus, and then if current percentage is lower than 0, then we're gonna make it equal 0. If, oops, hold on, if is greater than 100, make it 100. Okay, then let's see. So this is probably still gonna give us some really wild results, right? It's probably still gonna give us some wild results, but let's see. Interesting. Now it's actually created a sort of pattern, right? Okay. Yeah, because I made it too consistent. Okay. Because it's way too consistent, right? So blue tile likelihood. Okay. So remember how I, okay, yeah. Okay, so not make sense. So blue tile likelihood equals blue tile chance, blue tile likelihood. God, I'm running out of synonyms. Blue tile percent. Okay, so we have the current blue tile percentage. So what we're gonna do is blue tile likelihood. Okay. So if previous this, we're gonna do likelihood equals yeah. Okay. We're gonna do blue tile likelihood equals. Okay. Now, okay, blue tile likelihood. Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, so what I'm thinking is right here is where we're gonna do the progressively like lesser and lesser likelihood of it being blue, right? So we're gonna say blue chance equals random dot range 0 to likelihood, right? And then blue tile likelihood equals tile chance. Whoops, tile chance, okay. And then if chance, blue tile chance is above 0, then do this. Then let's say public bool spawn blue tile bool equals false. Blue tile equals true. Then if spawn blue tile bool equals true, then we're gonna do this. What the fuck? Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, like that. Else if previous or should it be minimum distance from edge? Like that. Then, yeah, hold on. So we're gonna remove this. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes more sense actually. Yep, like that. Then if it's above 0, this, if this, we update the percentage here. Then if okay, yeah. Else, yeah, current, yeah, exactly, perfect, equals not 0 but actually 100, because the higher it is, the less likely we are to have a blue one, right? Meanwhile, if the previous tile was not blue, right, blue tile chance, we're gonna do the same thing, right? And here we're gonna say if blue tile chance is equal to 0, right? Let's try it like that, right? Then we're once again gonna do this. Okay. Okay. This is probably still not exactly gonna work, but hey, here we are. Here we go. Okay. So this is probably gonna give some really chaotic result. I'm like 100% sure I didn't exactly code this properly, but let's see just in case. Okay. Okay, so already, so you see it's less chaotic basically. You see it's already less chaotic, but as you can see, it's still a little too weak, right? So we can make it a bit stronger basically, right? Okay. So the way that I think we can make it stronger is by removing this plus like minimum distance from edge, basically, right? This, like that. So, and again, like this is how you should code your game, right? Like you increment things little by little, because if you just spend like hours upon hours of like doing a super complex script with a bunch of different mechanics and you never test it out in game, you're gonna get a bunch of bugs and you're not even gonna know what's causing what bug, basically. Okay, so now it looks ever so slightly more blue. Okay, interesting. So now, okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Give me 5 seconds. All right, so what are we doing? Basically, we're saying if the previous tile was blue, check the tile chance between these things. If it's above 0, do this, basically make it blue. Now with this one, the major difference is that we're checking if it's equal to 0, right? Now let's just change this to above 0 as well. And now probably it's mostly gonna be blue, I think, right? So here you go. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So now there's an ever so slight difference. Let me just replay it again. Okay, so as we can see, the second line is always non-blue, and only afterwards does it... Huh, interesting. Fuck, man, we're already at 2.5 hours. What's with the line of non-blue? Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's interesting. So blue tile chance equals 0. So now actually, instead of doing greater than 0, let's do this. Okay, let's do 0. Minimum distance. Max, left, this right, this top, this bottom. Okay, and let's say if this is previous, so let's say blue tile chance equals random dot range between 0, which is nothing, and right now it's minimum distance. Let's say maximum distance with both, right? And then here what we're gonna do is like that. Let's see if this is gonna give us what we want. Hold on, let's just see current. Yeah, okay. Okay, so see, okay, there you go. So now it's ever so slightly a bit better. Okay, ever so slightly a bit better. So now let's lower the percentage to 5 and see Perfect. Okay. So there you go. Okay. So as we can see, like it's a bit less chaotic. It's ever so slightly less chaotic, right? Like we have very few single little tiles, right? Like we have very few single tiles like these, basically, right? And right here, we basically have like none the closer we are to the center, right? So, okay, that's cool, that's cool. Okay, so I think, yeah, we're exactly 2 hours, 31 minutes into the live stream. Honestly, I'd love to keep going, but the problem is that like I actually need to work on my game, as you might imagine. So I think we're gonna continue this tomorrow, and we're gonna start adding other similar mechanics for the other tiles, right? Because right now the blue tiles are like as you can see when I press play, the blue tiles are far more uniform than all the rest, right? So the idea here would be to for instance, like take the green one, right? The green tiles next, and kind of make certain other similar mechanics and stuff like that, right? So ideally the goal would be that by tomorrow we have a far more uniform looking thing that looks kind of like this, right? Like where you have a bunch of yellow ones together, a bunch of light green ones together, a bunch of dark green ones, etc., right? That would kind of be the idea, right? So yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow. Again, thanks a lot for coming so consistently to the live streams. I'm just gonna link the Discord channel for those interested. Right here, so that if ever you're interested in seeing in like talking game dev, doing all this kind of stuff, right? And also like downloading these game dev tutorials that I'm doing. You can just join the server. I just put the link in the stream chat for those of you watching the VOD. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks once again for coming. If you have any questions, any feedback, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.